A lot of people ask me what mic I use on my acoustic guitars, both on my recordings and the videos I put out on the internet. So in this video, I'm going to show you my 3 favorite mics for acoustic guitar. 2 of them are used quite often on acoustics for a very good reason. They sound amazing. The third one isn't as popular as an acoustic guitar mic, but I personally love it for certain situations. Not only am I going to show you these 3 mics individually, but I'm also going to show them to you panned opposite of each other in different combos so you can see how I use different mics in combination with other mics when I double acoustics and things like that. First off, I got to take a minute real quick to tell you about something if you haven't seen yet. I'm giving away this brand new 2024 Martin OM28. It sounds amazing, which you're going to see here in a second on these 3 different microphones. If you haven't entered yet, today is the final day to enter. The entry window closes at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time tonight. Go to go.getenteredtowin.com/Wilkes and get yourself entered to win this incredible acoustic guitar. I'm going to play different takes of the same guitar part into each mic and go back later and pan them around as doubles and whatnot so that you can hear the combination of the different mics. First up, one of my absolute favorite mics for acoustic guitar is the Warm Audio WA14. It's a remake of the old 70s style 414 mics, so if you're familiar with those at all, you'll be familiar with what this mic does. I think this mic sounds incredible both on acoustic and vocals and guitar and a bunch of other things, but I really love it on acoustic because it sounds very natural. It's warm. It's not overly bright, but it captures the high end that you want in an acoustic, but it doesn't neglect the low end. If you want to record just an acoustic and a vocal, the acoustic won't sound super anemic. With all of these, I'm going to mic the guitar in the same spot. I'm not going to do the between the 12th and 14th fret thing like a lot of people do. I like to mic my acoustic right here on the body. Still pointed away from the sound hole a little bit because I don't want to get that thumpy plosive thing. Just slightly pointed away from the sound hole right here at the body. It has a little more, well, body to it. It has a little more body. It sounds more percussive. I record acoustic a lot as the main instrument in the track as opposed to just a supporting instrument, and micing it right here on the body to me sounds great if you're presenting the acoustic in a main instrument type way, which is what I do most of the time. So I'm going to do that on all 3 of these mics. Second up is this Warm Audio WA47, which is kind of being an eyesore right here in front of the camera because it's picking up my voice currently. I absolutely love this mic. It's modeled after the iconic U47. If you're familiar with microphones at all, you know the U47, or you know of the U47, and you'll know that they're like $20,000. This microphone's $900. So it's not super cheap, but it's not the $20,000 version that it's modeled after. So you're saving around $19,000, which is pretty good. It doesn't sound exactly like a U47, but it definitely has that vibe. I really love it. Again, just like the WA14, I love this mic on vocals, on acoustic. I love it on drums, even kick drum. I love it on bass. I love it on electric guitars. I don't use it on everything all the time, but it has the capability to be used on everything some of the time. On acoustic, it might be my favorite mic because it has the biggest sound. It sounds almost 3D. It's got a very big warm bottom end, a really good mid-range, and it's got some high end, but it's not overly crisp. I would say the WA14 cuts a little more. Maybe it's a little more crisp than the 47, but the 47 sounds huge and immersive. So if I'm recording acoustic just by itself, most of the time I'm going to be using this WA47. Sometimes I might mic the guitar with the 47 right here and the 14 back here, or vice versa, or even put the 14 back as a room mic or over my shoulder pointed down. So I do use this mic in combination with other mics a lot, but if I had a go-to, this would be it. My third and final favorite mic for acoustic guitar, probably surprisingly, is the Shure SM7B. This mic isn't necessarily known for acoustics. It's used on vocals a lot. As you've probably heard, it was the main vocal microphone on Michael Jackson's Thriller. It's been used by every big artist since it's been a microphone. If you're on a limited budget and you want to get one microphone that's decently priced, I would say to pick up an SM7B because you can record everything with it, and it sounds very flat. So it takes processing well, it takes compression and EQ and all that stuff very well. It will sound a little more dull, kind of right out of the box, but it's very manipulatable. I like it as an acoustic mic when I'm gonna put the acoustic in a denser mix and I need it to take up less space. It's very mono and very narrow sounding, which is super cool. Or if I'm doing an acoustic track and I want it to sound a little more out on the front porch vibe, I might use this mic to give it that less produced, a little rougher around the edges sound. It doesn't sound as pristine as these other two mics, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing, depending on what you're going for. And just for transparency purposes, the SM7B is notoriously low on gain, so I am going to be running it through a cloud lifter. This doesn't color the mic at all, just makes it louder. If you're going to get an SM7B, get one of these. Those are my three favorite acoustic mics. I use each of them in different situations and combinations of each of them in other situations. Between these three mics, I have a ton of versatility. If I had to narrow it down to just one, honestly, I could pick any of the three because they all three sound great and they all three would get the job done. I most likely would pick this WA-47 because it's overall just my favorite mic for everything. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Which is your favorite mic? Which is your least favorite mic? What are some mics that you like better than all three of these? What's a very underrated mic that you use that nobody else uses on acoustic? Any of that kind of stuff, let me know in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Again, if you haven't yet, go to go.getenteredtowin.com/Wilkes. Get yourself entered to win this 2024 Martin OM28. It's an amazing guitar. I hate to see it go. I kind of want to keep it for myself, but I can't because I got to give it to one of you guys. It ends tonight at 11:59 PST. So go to go.getenteredtowin.com/Wilkes and get entered to win this guitar. If you're watching this and at some point you thought, what alternate tuning is that guy in? You need to watch this video. I'm in DADGAD, and this is a breakdown of DADGAD. You might as well go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I just passed 10,000 subscribers. I know that's not huge, but for me, it's a big deal. Thank y'all for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.